Welcome to the channel. I am Ladewaybac, and today I'm going to show you how to use some Bridget. First off, we're going to start with the buttons. Now we're starting with the punch. We can add both of them together, the standing punch, the 5P or the 2P. What's interesting about these is not only do they have great range, but we can cancel into other normals. So for example, we can cancel into the 6HS, and why that is effective is because if we have him guarding, we'll have him countering here. So if you do it 3 times, you can get hit out of it. So you want to be fairly close when you're canceling into your 6HS. So maybe 1 tap or 2 tap, and then you can get a pretty good combo from there too. Just off of that counter hit, you can take half of your opponent's life, and you can do the same thing with 2P. Just maybe 1 or 2 taps into the heavy slash, and then proceed to combo afterwards. Now canceling into the 6K. Now, but previously I said you want to cancel into the heavy slash when you're 6HS, when you're close to your opponent, because you can get a bigger combo. But you could also cancel into the kick, but you'll get a smaller combo there. You know, nothing too big, not as big as our previous combo, but what you can do is you can land it after the 3rd hit, but you can't really get much off of that, right? Can't really get much off of that. But off of the grab though, you got a better combo. So you want to grab, go for the yo-yo that comes back, 3 taps, and you got a combo. And this is perfect for these 2 combos that I'm showing you here are perfect for people who want to mash the buttons. Now, even if they're blocking the whole way, right? Let me take off the counter here. Even if they're blocking the whole way, you know, we could keep applying the pressure. I didn't do it correctly there, but and that's like half the risk gauge right there. And so, you know, if you're gonna get a grab, that's something to go. That's pretty good to go for. You know, obviously the DP is gonna beat that or an overdrive, but other than that, that's a great way to lay pressure because it's a true block string. Next up, let's go over our slashes. Now, slashes can set for a lot of frame traps here. So we have a 2-hitter right here with our far slash, or we can cancel into the heavy. We can even delay it a little bit so we can get a counter hit, right? And also we have our 2-hitting crouching slash, which is very good. It has a really good range on it and is easy to confirm off of because it hits twice. Now our close slash is also a 2-hitter, which also feels really good to get. You can think like Melia, right? So what Melia would do is she'll get close and then she could possibly go for a grab, or she can just move on to the next thing, right? Which sets up a lot of frame trap opportunities. So we can just go once, twice, and then into the heavy. Alright, so I've got Kai set to do a crouching punch after we hit him, so I can show you what combos you can get off of the frame traps. There's one, and if they block the first 2, then we can go for our 2HS right there. Or you can do something even better than that. You know, if he's high enough, you can get two close slashes there. And lastly, let's take off the guard and just set it to counter hit. So if we're going for the close slash twice, like if they block the first one, then we can just hit the second one, and if we get that counter hit for that, you do something basic like that. And especially if they bounce off the wall, then we gotta follow up. But if we're not close to the wall, we can just do that for slightly more damage. And let me show you one more variant off of the counter hit for the 2HS. And that'll get more damage. What I did there is I just did the two slash into the standing HS for the 2 hitter. So yeah, that'll do more damage if you're able to land that. And also there's one more version I can show you. That might be a little easier for you to go into the kick into the 2 slash. So yeah, those are the counter hits for the frame traps. Next, let's talk about our heavy slashes. Now, heavy slash hits twice, as I said before. And when we land this, so a lot of times we might hit our slash into our heavy or something like this. And then we always want to use kickstart my heart afterwards. So we're right on top of our opponent. And we have the advantage there. So by the time they wake up, we can hit them first. Even could go for a grab, but you know, time it right. Of course, if you're far away, you want to be able to hit the second part of the heavy slash, or even kickstart my heart and be close enough to do a grab. But if you're at a certain distance, you can just get a grab or go into close slash. And if you're far away, just go for a 2 slash. But you always have the advantage here. Always have the advantage. Next, let's talk about our 2HS, our crouching heavy slash. Now, I already showed you what you can get off of the frame traps by doing the block strings with it, but it's also an effective anti-air. And we get 162 off of that. Just a couple of cold slashes and a couple of rolls. Very easy combo to do, but there's another variant you can do. Second. And get a wall splat after that. You know, of course, if we're in the middle of the screen. And it even works if you're on the opposite side too, right? If you just do the first one there for some easy damage. Next, we have our kick. Now we can cancel our kick into anything we could cancel from the punch. You know, nothing too special about it. The range is decent, but not really much to say here. You can do your 2K into your 2D. But you can do the same thing with standing kick as well. You can jump cancel off of it. And a sequence that I like to do in the corner is I like to forward kick into the yo-yo throw, and then down 2K into the booty bump. But you know, you're not always gonna land that. A lot of times I'll block the second part, but I find that a lot of opponents are hitting buttons. Like after I land this right here, I find a lot of opponents are hitting buttons after that. So I'm able to land the second part, which is the I'll just do it all over again. Do the roll right there. So yeah, I find that to work for me, but who knows? You can switch it up. But the kick's pretty basic, is what I'm trying to say. So you know, I just find my own little sequence to do with it. Now for the 2D, you can get some set play off of 2D. There's plenty of Bridget players that have their own kind of thing, so I'll just go over what I do. Of course, there's a whole bunch of other things you could think of to do, as long as it times with your yo-yo that comes back for the set play. So this is what I do. I go for the 2K into the booty bump because the yo-yo will come back at the time of the after the booty bump there, or I'll just call it the 6HS. So throw it out, roll, do your combo. But yeah, like I said, there's a whole bunch of other options there. You'd also just run up and go for a grab too, and then they'll also get hit by the yo-yo on the way back. As you can see, it's 2 hits. As the grab is only 1 hit, right? You don't see a combo counter. But if you grab them afterwards, you get a little extra damage, as a yo-yo will hit them. they'll stand up a lot quicker. But if you're looking for just a little more damage, you know, it is what it is. So if they're blocking it, I'll do I'm having Kai only block up so I can show you here. So instead of doing the crouching kick, I'll do the standing kick instead. So if they block it here, there's a gap there between the yo-yo coming back and the roll. So if the opponent is mashing, they can mash you out of that. So if that's what they're doing to you, just do that right there. Of course they can block it, but you know, if they're attacking, if they're mashing there, that bear is gonna hit. So that's usually what I go for my set play after the sweep. Simple enough combo. If they block, we can even end up behind them, right? As long as it's all about the timing. So while I'm at that, I could just talk about another thing, but the 2 heavy slash, I mean the 6 heavy slash. You can always just do the bear afterwards, or you can do the command grab, right? But you can end up on the opposite side if you wait a second there. If you do it immediately, you'll be right in front of them, and if you wait a bit, you'll go right behind them. Next, let's go over our jumping normals. Now we're starting with the jumping punch, pretty standard. You can hit multiple times. You know, nothing too crazy. Usually if I'm throwing this out, I'm trying to go for a 2K into the 2D. Something like that, so I can go for some set play. Next, let's talk about our jumping slash. It's another 2-hitting move. And what I like to do is, I know I like to jump a lot at the beginning of the fight, so when people catch on, they start to jump and try to hit me out the air. So I'll prepare for that and just immediately do a jump slash like towards them. And here's a combo that you can do if you meet your opponent air to air with the slash. And you get a wall splat like right off rip, right at the beginning of the match. So if they jumping and you're jumping and you catch them in the air, you already got a wall splat. Just about this combo, when you land and you do your 2 HS, I mean your 2 slash, you want to wait a bit, so let them get a little closer to the ground so we can connect. So if you do it too early, it'll just whiff. So let them fall a little bit, and then you got a combo. And let's say you're not close to the wall, because if you're not close to the wall, it's clearly not going to work, because you can't do the follow-up for the heavy slash. So what you want to do here is switch it up a bit and get your combo like that. Now, if we get a counter hit with the jumping slash, we can't do the same thing, because if we try to dash, it just won't connect. We do something like that, but you know, that's not very effective. But what I like to do if I get a counter hit is I like to jump again and then do a heavy slash and then into the heavy slash. And then throw the yo-yo out, the angled one. This one right here with the heavy slash. And then roll towards it. And keep the pressure going. Now, obviously your opponent can see that coming and they could do a like 6P or a DP after that. So what you can do, you can just kind of switch it up, because you know Bridget, she can switch up her jumping attacks, because she can just do the hopping bear. So that's what you'll do in that situation. And just, you know, switch up the timing and then get your hit there. Next we have our jumping heavy slash. Nothing too crazy here, has a good range to it. Maybe you can use it off the roll to get a long distance overhead. So you throw it out, as soon as you get some air, you just throw out your heavy slash. So it's a interesting thing to cancel into. You know, can't get anything too crazy off of it. You can do a combo like that. You get a counter hit. Then just land right in front of you. Then you just do a combo off of that. So nothing too crazy, but you can get combos off of it. Lastly, we have our jumping dust attack. Nothing too crazy here. It's not really something I use often. Like, you can use it as a side switch, basically what I mean is a cross up. Usually if I'm using it, it's if I'm doing a roll and I'm like rolling right past them. So I can just use it and fall on the other side and, you know, get some pretty cheap hits in. But as far from that, I don't really see the crazy use about it. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, you can use your kick as a side switch too, which which was a button I accidentally skipped over. But yeah, this is usually I use this when I'm doing my roll. Just kick into them, and it could get a little dangerous here. Like, here, I'll show you here. Have our counter attack. We're having to do the throw. So for our kick, just let the animation go first. If you land and you try to attack, you can get grabbed. So you're gonna want to like, I tend to get grabbed here a lot, which is why I noticed I had to switch things up. So do the roll, and then you want to delay the kick as long as possible so you don't get grabbed afterwards. And if you feel like you're gonna get the timing wrong, or you got the timing wrong, you can always just jump and then get your combo off it after that. So if you feel like you're gonna get grabbed, just jump and then get the easy combo. Next, we have our special moves. We have our yo-yo toss. What's it called? Our stop and dash. So we can throw it forward, or we can throw it slightly up, or the angle. Same. In the air, we can throw it forward with the slash version, and the heavy version will go at an angle, so diagonally down. Now, when we have this yo-yo out, we can do our rolling movement, which is that right there, which is gonna be it could be a good part of our game plan there. You know, it's basically what she's all about, is her pretty much her defining characteristics as a character in this game. So we can throw out the yo-yo. We don't have to commit to the roll. We can just kind of backdash out of it, or even jump. You know, we don't have to commit to it. So we can play mind games with our opponent, right? We just throw it out, hold the button, so they don't. So instead of coming out immediately with the roll, we hold it down, so the timing's different. We can roll into the bear. Maybe go on one side, the front side or the back side. We could yeah, really, it's all how you pretty much choose to play, right? And the backwards version, instead of doing damage on the way in, it does damage on the way out. So we throw that out, and we can just, you know, set up some stuff there. Yeah, like if you're able to get the roll off of the yo-yo toss, then that means you can just keep the pressure going, which is very effective, because you get to get their risk gauge high, and there's always the potential to open them up with a counter hit. So you kind of want to be creative with it, right? So you can just kind of throw it in the air, and then you just roll, and they think they're going to 6P you, and then you just gotta jump out of it, or, you know, you just don't commit at all and just back out, or you just, you know, cancel into the jumping slash. So you get a 2-hitter in there, so it's like a new way of getting a jump in. It's basically like your move to skip neutral, man. We have one interesting thing I like to do, I like to have the yo-yo out, so I always want them thinking that I'm gonna do a roll, right? So I can play my mind games. I could like go for a roll and back out, or I could just hold it and actually commit to it. Or, you know, if you have the yo-yo out, a lot of times they'll come in and try to attack you. And what I do there is I go for a 6P. Now, usually this, like on paper, the 6P is pretty weak, but if you have your yo-yo out and they jump in on you, that's a combo. So you get a lot off the 6P. Like, so if you're looking out for jump-ins, if you have your yo-yo out and they're jumping in on you, they're in for a world of hurt. Now, also, let's say they're just gonna do a regular slash. You know, you just have the yo-yo out, you just counter like that, and you just get in on them like so. And if you're close enough, you got a combo. So yeah, it's all about the throwing out the yo-yos and going for the sonic spins, man, the rolling movement. And yeah, you just want to play mind games with your opponent, and, you know, always switch it up, man. Never do the same things over and over. That's the thing about her. She's kind of like a trickster, you know. Just always keep you guessing. Always keep you guessing. Here. Now our next move is rolling movement. Now I know I went over what the move can do previously. Now, but I want to get more into it now. Like, I know I went over the set play you can do after the 2D, But I said I showed you what I normally do, but then I mentioned that there's other options you can do. So let me show you those other options. So right now we can go at our sweep and throw it out, right? Throw out our yo-yo that comes back out and does damage. And then we do our rolling movement afterwards. And what we can do is we can cancel the rolling movement early and then go low instead. And then we get a combo off of that. Easy enough, right? So we do, we throw it out, fake the high, go low, get 2 close slashes, and then proceed to combo. Or, you know, you could, sometimes you'll find yourself that you can only do it once, but you should be able to tell. Like if they're at a certain distance near you, like if they're at, well, not a distance, but a certain height, you can tell where you can get another close slash in. But if not, just do the 2H right afterwards. To show you one more time. So he's high there. If they're just low, just do the 1 close slash. Now, if we're not going low, we can just go high and actually commit to the kick. Do the roll afterwards. And just like before, easy combo. So basically, we're taking a high action, doing an action and doing the roll afterwards. So we get the sweep once again. And that's our low option. So this is basically a 50-50. High, and then we do the roll after that. And we combo. So those are some pretty options, good options there if you're looking to do some 50-50s on your opponent. Either you cancel the kick early, or cancel the kick early so it doesn't actually land and you can go low afterwards, or you actually commit and do the kick and get the high. And lastly, I have a cool little setup here for you for the rolling movement. Now, again, it's going to start with a 2K2D, but instead, we're going to start with the, instead of attacking first, we're going to do the rolling movement first. And we're going to do that right there. We're going to go into a kick, into a jumping punch. And if they block that, if they block the kick, they're forced to block the punch. Okay, I'll show you here. I'll make them block. So you can't duck that. So it's kind of like it's pretty much a fuzzy overhead, right? But don't do the rolling movement too early, or you knock them past the yo-yo, like so. So you want to wait a little bit, and then you can just keep the pressure going, right? Now, if that were to hit, it looks something like this, and that's a combo right there. You saw that 7 hits. That's a combo altogether. You can also, you also jump forward. And then get a side switch, and that's kind of hard to see, right? Because the yo-yo just drags them just enough so that you end up on the other side, and it's like almost immediate. So unless you're looking out for it, you're not going to notice that. So that's a straight jump, and then we're on the other side, and we get some extra hits in, and just to make this a 50-50, right? Instead of jumping up, you could just go low. Do it all over again. So yeah, this Bridget has a lot of mix-ups off of the 2D. So yeah, I'll show you one more time. And that's a combo altogether. So if they get hit by the overhead punch, because they're forced to stand. So if they get hit by the punch there, then you'll fall with the slash, and then hit them with the heavy slash. Next we have Starship, which is her DP. You know, nothing too crazy, just a DP. Invincible on wake up, and just get your opponent off of you. You know, nothing too crazy. You can cancel it at the beginning, so just in case they block it. You just cancel your mistakes so you don't get punished there. Next we have Kickstart My Heart. It's this skating move right here. Let me take off counter. We can end, if we hit kick, that's how we end, and that's usually going to be our combo ender. Or we can do the breaks, which can also be used as a combo ender, but it does less damage. It's a safer option because if you end up, you want to do it like away from your opponent so they can't counter you, because it's a heavy block here. If you do it right next to your opponent, it's an easy grab for them, and you can't do anything to stop that. So if you're gonna do it far away. It's basically your button to skip neutral. If you're having a hard time getting in, you can do that. And usually when I'm using this move, this is how I use my meter. I use it to get in on my opponent. So I just cancel it because it's dangerous to do. Both options are unsafe on block, but you can cancel it and then go in on your opponent. Okay, what else about this move? You can control the speed, so you can do it normally and just not hit anything. You hold back and it goes even slower, or you just hold forward and it goes like really far. And also a cool thing about this move is if you were to get a counter on a heavy hit, usually that's like the only thing you do, right? The follow-up. But if you do kickstart my heart, angle it just right, then you can do a sweep afterwards, and then go for your setups there, your set play. That didn't combo before. It takes some while. It's kind of hard to get used to, right? But it's possible, as you just saw. So that's the whole thing. You're in counter state, but you control the speed, so you don't have to go really. If you go too fast and hit too soon, then you won't be able to land it. So you want to control your speed, and not like that. Okay, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's not really something I'm really good at doing, because you know the counter hit comes as a surprise, and you gotta control the speed. But just know that it's something that can be done, and you know, practice it so you can get your set play and start doing all that crazy stuff that I was showing you previously. Now, also, you can Kara cancel this move too. So, especially if like your opponent like wall splats far away from you, this is probably your best option. You use Kickstart My Heart, and you hit the punch button, hit punch, and it will do break. But at the same time, you want to hit slash. So you want to hit punch and slash at the same time while inputting the overdrive. So you do the escape move. You don't have to hit anything else. You just do that. The quarter circle forward kick, and then do your overdrive. But instead of hitting just slash, you hit punch and slash at the same time. So that's basically what the card cancel is. It's one of the easier card cancels to do. Next move we got Roger Dive. This move can only be used in the air, and this is one of my favorite moves, right? This is something I love on this character because I'm a type of person who likes to do jump-ins. So if I'm doing jump-ins all the time, and especially against somebody like a Kai, right? Kais are like, for some reason, all Kai players are amazing at doing a 6P. So in knocking you out the sky when you're doing your jump-ins. So what you do instead is that's when you use the move. The what is it called again? Roger Dive? Yes, Roger Dive. Okay. So if they're trying to 6P you do this instead, and basically you get a free jump in, so you get damage. So you know they're gonna 6P you do this instead. So you can basically mix up your jump ins. It's an amazing move, and I know I mentioned this before, but you can do this off of the 6HS because it leaves you airborne. So basically, if you wait a while, you go on one side, and if you do it early, you'll end up in front of them. So early, in front, late, in the back. If I could do it. There we go. But if you're running when you do it, you always go behind them. Maybe not always, but you know, if you're sometimes it kind of feels kind of random. But as long as you wait for a second, just wait for 1 second, you'll always end up behind them. And you do it early, you end up in front. Unless you're dashing like in that moment right there. And our last special move is Rock the Baby. Now, Rock the Baby is our command grab, which does good damage. We could throw it into our block strings, or even if they get hit. Now, I want to say it's a good command grab, but it really doesn't feel that way. Because, hold on. You know, I got a better way of showing you here. We'll have Kai do a throw. So you can get grabbed out of your command grab, which really feels bad. It feels absolutely terrible. And you know, a lot of people can see that coming because it's fairly slow. So they can just kind of jump backwards and then just counter you afterwards. So it's kind of dangerous to throw out. I say good times to throw it out is maybe on their wake up, especially if you suspect a DP. And a lot of times I find myself catching them if I doing my jump in and I just do it right afterwards. So it can end in the air, but if you hold the button, it'll like fly further down. So almost at a double jump, and then you get command grab like that. So if you find some sneaky way to get in like that, maybe you got your opponent in the corner and they're kind of scared there, you just throw that out, right? And you can land this in the air, although it's kind of hard to do. See, it's not exactly easy, and I don't know what kind of situation you'll find where you actually be able to pull that off. Maybe if you maybe if I have Kai jump while blocking. So even then, but you can hold the button after they block your air attack, and that might do it. So you know, be creative with it. But if you're doing it during your block string, just be careful, man. Because in my experience, a lot of people have seen that coming, and then there's also people who have absolutely been oblivious to it. But I think over time, everybody's going to be ready for that Bridget command grab. So try to find some, we'll use the creative ways of getting it done, like I was showing you previously. And last of all, we have our overdrives. Now first we have loop the loop. So if this is not invincible on wake up, so don't try to use it that way. But it is it's best used to put your opponent through the wall, or to, you know, just to end combos in general. So I'll show you what I mean here. So we get a wall splat, then we can just do it right afterwards, loop the loop. And that's for our hard knockdown and our good damage. And then we get a safe jump off of that. So you're gonna want to put your opponent through the wall, because then you can just do your jump attack afterwards, and then if they're doing a DP, you can block it. You already know what a safe jump is. So you get a safe jump after doing your overdrive to your opponent and putting them to the wall. Now the next overdrive is something killing machine, return of the killing machine. And this is best used if you just think your opponent's gonna hit a button. So you think he's just gonna throw out a projectile, he's gonna go through that, you know? Just throw it out if you think they're gonna do something, and get some free damage. You know, nothing too crazy. It's also not invincible on wake up, but you know, that's what Bridget has her DP for. So yeah, that's what keeps her safe. And yeah, that's all there really is to the overdrives. I almost forgot one last thing about loop the loop. You can cancel it and he'll just do his own thing. So which is pretty cool. He'll keep going, and you just won't be a part of it. So yeah, there's that. And the final thing I want to say about Bridget is she can do a tiger knee input for her rolling movement. So you can get 2 slashes there, right? So if I was just to do the regular input, I just get the 1. But if I do a tiger knee input, I get 2. And basically it's doing the quarter circle back, but then going up afterwards. So it's like a half circle up. So what it does is it makes you go into your jumping motion as you're doing the move. That way it makes you higher, so you can get 2 hits instead. I just thought I should mention that before I end the video. And that is my guide to Bridget. If you've made it this far in the video, I guarantee that you are a Bridget expert now. You should be able to do all sorts of fun stuff and destroy your opponents, man. And if there's anything you want to add, be sure to leave it in the comment section below. And leave a like on the video, man. Just the more likes you leave, the more the video spreads around. And I put a lot of work into this, and I wanted to get around to people, and so they can also be Bridget experts too, man. So leave some likes so it will be spread around more, man. And subscribe for some daily fighting game content, man. So yeah, man, you already know the game plan. Throw out the yo-yos, do the rolling stuff, get in on your opponent, confuse them, high-lows, mix-ups, throw in a grab or two, and just go crazy, man. Just go crazy. So yeah, thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.